Hey guys, LJ here from LJ Films, and we're here to actually give an overview of our film and give you guys our own critics and our opinion and how we were able to come up with the latest action short film that we've done. Starting from budget to shooting styles to editing process, we're gonna cover it right now. And we'll also show you guys the frame by frame on how we actually were able to get that shot. Let's get it started.
Yes.
So, Andrew, before we actually see the action film, what was our plan? Why did we start to shoot a film from the first place?
We shoot a film because we have this vacation.
Yes.
A short vacation.
Mm-hmm.
The month of November.
Yes. On the month of November, we were able to have this break from what are you doing? From schools?
Yeah, from school.
Uh-huh. In my case, I wanted to do a film, and I didn't want to make my time go on a waste.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, I couldn't do this alone. Film, you can't always give an excuse of not having a lot of people or not having a lot of equipments. You can always create something all by yourself and with something you have. But the thing is, I wanted to make something that's actually collaborative, which something, that you can actually collab with others. A film that's done through a lot of creative people with creative works. So I needed help to make this film possible, and action film is something that you couldn't do all by yourself unless it's like a time-lapse or a landscape video. So I needed help, and luckily he was able to contact me through Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew he was a great videographer, a talented videographer, so I just called him up to come by Starbucks and let's have a cup of coffee. And I wanted to do an action film, and I got inspired. And you can get inspiration from a lot of things, but in my particular case, I got my inspiration through a lot of short films on Vimeo, and I wanted to try action. And I've never done action, so I also wanted to do an action for fun and for the sake of me getting used with action film. So in Starbucks, I didn't only call him, I also called a friend of his, also a friend of ours, and also a boom operator who used to work with us in the past few short films. So we sat down, we were around 6 or 7, all of us, and we sat down and started talking about film ideas. And let's be honest, the ideas wouldn't just come out right away on set. We had a lot of hard time. We were bringing a lot of notebooks and such, but we weren't able to finalize it. But the good thing was, we had a friend who is actually a MMA fighter, right?
Yes.
And they're very talented. They actually have this, what do you call that?
A
A place where we could train.
Yes.
So that's also one of the inspirations we've got. We wanted to not go on a waste and then make that as a film. The thing here is, one tip that actually can help us in filmmaking is, meet a lot of people. You never know what's going to happen. We had the inspiration of the action film because we were able to get the inspiration from our friend, the person who actually does MMA. And don't just stay at home and try to think of ideas. Go out and meet people and be socialized and do some business, and you get to know a lot of people, then your ideas will just pop out. And what do? We sat down and talked about it.
Mm-hmm. List some ideas.
Mm-hmm. And then the basic idea was about the trainer actually saving her sister in a building because the sister was kidnapped. We also thought of a lot of stuff from sci-fi to, kidnapping and such, and having the gangsters around. But the thing was, we didn't have a lot of time. We only had 2 days of shooting, or 1 day probably. And we didn't have a lot of actors, not a lot of talented actors. And we didn't also have a lot of, fancy stuff and permits and everything. So we wanted to keep it simple. But the way we were thinking was very huge. We were thinking of like Hollywood blockbuster film. So that another tip here is, keep it simple. Just focus on telling the story, what you want to tell. And, we actually did an action film in the end. But the bad thing was, after like few days after we've planned everything out, there comes this time where I got a text message saying that I can't do the film. And that's the most important character in the film, the actual MMA fighter. We were able to get our choreography from that trainer, but the trainer was busy. He had this important appointment, I don't know. So shit happens. A lot of stuff happened in film. You never know, it's unexpected. So that happened, and that was the shooting day. Especially that day we were about to shoot, we had everything scheduled, planned out, our location ready, and there goes a text saying that I can't do the film. So after I got a message, I'm like so pissed off. We met again in Starbucks and shared my ideas and tell people that, the actors, they're not available. What's their plan? And everybody was all down because the locations was ready and everybody was up for doing a film. And what did they came up with a solution?
We knew a friend who is working on this a building, a tall building, which we think that we could actually make this short film in that building.
Mm-hmm. So everything was ready, actually, in fact. So in my case, I didn't want this to go on a waste. That's my ambition. I don't know if this is a good thing or bad thing. In my case, I didn't want it to just let it go. I want it to be possible. Everything was ready. All the crews were hungry for film, and I want to feed them with something, at least something, because we planned for this, and screwing this up is not in our dictionary. So I said, I will make this possible, and there is always a way. So what I thought of is, we had a friend who has a car, so I said, let's just go to the location, and I'm sure we can figure things out. We were, how many people were we? 1, 2, 3, 4. We were only 5. We were 5. We went there in that building and we did some scouting in the location. We look around, which is a nice place to shoot. And the first thing we shot, the one in the, where is this? In the office, the one you see here. That's the first thing we shot in the first day. So, not a lot. And then, again, the actor messed up. So the story must be different too. So we sat down in the location and said, we have 20 minutes. We will come up with a story. Whatever it is, we'll start shooting. So we sat around and, start brainstorming ideas. And we came up with an idea of stealing file and escaping.
Because we've seen a lot of files in the office.
Yes, there were a lot of files. Another tip of, coming up with a story is, everything's not on here. Everything is around you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what we start to do is once we start to think of a film ideas, we don't go on a meditation mode and close our eyes, but we actually look around us and see what we can make stories of. If you're thinking of a plot device or a plot story, look around you. You never know. I might even make a video about this laptop or this light, or anything is possible, and it could be original than copying from other else's film. So, since when we look around, there were a lot of, hard disks, because it's a studio of wedding videographers. So there were a lot of hard disks and laptops and such. So what can we make use out of this location? And cliche story, we still have file. And the tricky thing was, in this office, let's see, let me find a frame. All right, this particular shot, this was hard. The reason to that is because...
This was only handheld.
Yeah, handheld.
Handheld.
I mean, the shooter was actually up in the table. It was kind of dangerous, but we needed a top view shot. That's why it makes the story possible. We'll be talking about camera techniques a little bit later on, but we actually had an idea of making this film. So idea was stealing a file from the computer, from the hard disk, and we just build the story later on, little by little. So on the first day, we stopped until, where did we stop? Or until the guy gets stabbed. And trust me, all we had was one LED lighting. What is this? Just this. This is all we had. And again, you do not need a lot of budget to make a film. I'm here to prove you guys that one. All right. So yeah, that's all I had, and it's night, and making use of these DSLRs in low light settings, we were able to make this film possible. And thanks to MacBook, it produced a lot of light, so I was able to lit up properly. Now, let's watch the actual film and show you guys every frame. So we'll call this a part where it's analyze the frame. So we will stop at the moment and we'll tell you why we used this shot. Let's watch.
Yes.
All right, the first frame, which is the clock. And what you mean by a reveal shot is when a certain camera is blocked by an item, and when it reveals something, the subject. So you wanted to reveal it because we don't want to show who the character is. We want it to be a guy, a mysterious guy. So we choose that particular angle to show you. And we cut into a push-in shot. And it's one of the camera techniques. If you actually push in the camera, it actually tells the audience that something is going on or something is happening. So we did that at the back of me, but we're not showing my face because I'm still mysterious, to tell people that something is going on at the pressure time. You see, everything mixed up makes a one final story, telling us and understanding us, saying that someone's pressured by time and someone's being revealed and a mysterious guy is doing something. And we hear the sound of the clicking sound, which tells us he's doing in the computer, and we don't cut to our face first yet. We show our fingers first and telling them what we're doing. A little bit of rack focus there. And then after showing the keyboard, we actually show what's he doing. So we actually show them what the files and everything. Actually, in this file, we had nothing to show you guys what the file was, but we did it right on set. We didn't prepare anything. This is the actual desktop that the studio had. So I had to do random stuff to make it copy and paste it. So I was doing random stuff, in fact. First off, when you look around, the clock looked nice. So I said, get a B-roll of it. And I never knew when I was cutting my footages that, the clock would be a useful part of the video to tell a story. I told them, get a B-roll of that, 2 shots, 1 extreme close-up, 1 close-up. And this is the actual close-up. And I also tell the boom operator to get, a 10 seconds or 20 seconds of the actual clock sound so we can sync it up in post. So we started off with the sound first instead of the black video, while the black video is playing. The reason to that is because people listen to sound more than video, and it's more important. So telling them that the clock is actually going on actually tells a little bit of suspense. What comes into your mind if you think of clock? Time. You're pressured. A lot of, you have a little bit of time. So we actually shot the clock to tell the story that, someone is being rushed. It's up to you to understand. Yeah, it's up to you to understand what it is. But if there was no clock in this film, people might even not know that the guy is actually pressured. And the one mistake we found using this is that, choose your actors wisely. And as I said, we had no actors. All we had was 5 shooters, 5 videographers, and crew. And, I didn't take acting class. All I remember is I had a musical when I was like grade 1 and 2. But, choose your actors wisely because it really tells, the story. But, the film came out great because I'm a great actor. That doesn't matter. The thing is that, in my case, we had to choose me, because you have to use everyone in the film. So every actors you see on the film is actual shooters and videographers. So we had to use everyone. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna use me. Everyone is gonna act. So we actually did the acting. But the thing that I want to share to you guys, the mistake I've made is that if you look at this frame, first my hairstyle, the bangs doesn't actually show people that he's actually a person with strength and mysterious. It would be better if I had a cap or something covering my face, or if I looked a little bit not innocent. But that's a mistake we've learned. But that's something to keep in mind. Actors really play a big role in film. And then we sync up the music. That is, he actually found the file. So he found the file. So that's the actual close-up of the file. And then it cuts to my reaction of me smiling, telling the people that actually found the file, and cuts to the hard disk, telling people that we're actually
Transferring the file.
Yes, exactly. It just transferred to top view as a white shot.
One more thing, we have no makeup artist.
Yes, we had no makeup artist, but we still looked good in the film. So I'm photocopying, pasting it. So another extreme close-up of my Control-C, Control-V, or Command-C, Command-V in Mac. And cuts to the copying file. And then this was unplanned, We didn't have rehearsal before the shooting, so, I just happened to do this. But that also kind of symbolizes, says waiting, or symbolizes that I'm pressured, I really need to go out, so I'm like,
you need to hurry.
I need to hurry. The next shot you're gonna see, this one was taken the other day, the next day. So because after cutting my footage, the day we've shot the first day, I felt like, something's missing. And to build up the mood and something is coming and that he needs to hurry, this actually plays a big role. And a lot of editors and a lot of films that I watch tend to forget what's really important. And the important thing is that, the build up is really important, building up the mood for the people. There's a lot of, continuity,
to
a lot
connect
of
the story.
I'm not gonna go too in detail, but this was the shot that actually, build up the mood. And we shot this shot with handheld and a little bit of bypass of something blurring in front. The reason to that is we want to tell people that something is at the back. If you see, we broke the rule of 180 degrees here. You know, the shot used to be at my left, but the shot is at my right side, which means we totally broke the line. You can't break the line in film, but you can break it if you want to tell a story. And we told a story by breaking the line, telling the audience something bad is going on, something weird is going to happen. So people might think, what's going on? That also tells a part of story. You know, don't break rules if you don't know the rules. The thing is, learn every single rules in film and break them one by one. But if you don't know how to break rules, if you really don't know the basics, don't do it, because it may come up as a shit, you know. So that's a shot. If you listen carefully though, because I'm the one who did the sound design as well, look at my left side and my hand and a back. You see a sound. If there was no swish sound, that like the ghost sound that I've added, it might kind of looks plain. But after adding that like ghost sound, people will know that there's a little bit suspense and someone is at behind. And also music plays a big role too, you know, film scores. Another extreme close-up of the clock to tell him that he's being pressured with time. All right, here we go. Here's my favorite, one of my favorite part. The thing is, first the music changes. And it goes black screen. You know, this is rarely used. You know, you don't use a lot of black screen in film editing, you know, in a lot of film, because if once the screen goes black, it's either someone's fainted or something like that. But I've tried editing without adding a black screen, and it didn't kind of build up. Kind of just using the sound effect of the door didn't kind of sell the effect. So I tried to put a black screen. It actually worked. And editing is all about, you know, trying it out and doing it in your taste. It's like cooking. So, you know, whatever seems right, you do it. But if you don't know the ingredients, you're gonna mess it up. But if you know the actual ingredients at the proper, you know, place and proper degree, you know how to get it right. So I tried it out and it works great. And customer reaction, because we don't want to show people who the person is there yet. We want to show my reaction first. So I look at my right and get surprised. And then here comes the file where he comes in. A shadow, a shadow is one of my favorite tools to use in film. It's not a tool though, but I love to tell story with shadows. I don't know why. I've been obsessed with shadows recently. And a footstep, because we don't want to show the face yet. And we cut to the face. We had this fake cigar that the smoke only goes out instead of a real cigar. And we had just backlight, you know, but it looks great because, you know, lighting is one of the important things, you know, about film. Great lighting, great audio is part of the key. So we wanted to do not a 3-point lighting in this case because we have no key, but a backlight from the side view that actually covers the whole face, making it mysterious. Actually, if you see the raw file of this, you can actually see the whole face, but I crushed it down in the editing process because this is what I want to aim. This is what I wanted to see. So his face is totally black. And he comes in and cuts back to me. My reaction of hurry, 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 hurry goes back to the file that it's actually done and gets the file, and I run away. All right, so he comes in, cuts to me, that my hand is with a weapon, and we had no weapon on set. All we used was a pencil.
Like the sound before you stab the person. Something. You get your mood to prepare on stabbing the person.
Yes, you're right. I've added that sound effect. Yes, that's a reverse swish. And I use reverse swish a lot of time, you know, when it's time traveling, you know, reverse swish actually tells you that something big is going to happen. And I use that there to build up again. Building up is one of the key. But you don't have to build up always, because if it's horror, you don't have to make the audience get ready for it. But in fact, you make them feel relaxed and also don't scare them at all. But in this kind of case, we need to build up a bit because we know that the person is there to kill him. And let's talk about sound effects, Foley sounds, and the things we've done. One of the key here thing is we had a boom microphone, and we were able to get great sound on set. But the thing though is action film, horror sound, all of the films requires sound effects. Not sound effects just from the free collection you can get from internet or any sound effects you can, get from Video Compilot or everything. But great resources though. But the thing here is you have to be original because every single gunshot or any stab, if it's everything the same, what's the purpose? There must be a little bit of difference. So what we chose to do is to do a Foley sound, and that really sold the effect. If you listen to our sound carefully, sorry we weren't able to get the behind the scenes of our doing the Foley sound, but what we did was we weren't prepared. We didn't even go to a shop to actually prepare a Foley sound. We just wanted to do it because we missed it, because without the sound effects, this wouldn't look as violent. So what we did was we went down and looked for the refrigerator, and
We found some vegetables like carrots, raw meat.
raw meat, that is one of the key. We also found a lot of stuff. Also apples, eyes cracking for the bone cracking. You always have to be
Creative
So
and resourceful.
Right. So I brought a lot of stuff upstairs and had my microphone ready for recording. And we dubbed it to the video because I had my edits done already. And then we started off and then sync it up to the thing. But in case of the stabbing, we didn't sync it up because it was kind of too fast. What we did was for the stab was we drink a water and then we did like, yeah, those kind of weird sounds. And that actually is the sound that you actually hear from here. And we also stab a raw meat, but that kind of turned out to be a failure, but it kind of helped a little bit, 20%. And we mixed up a bunch. We had like 20 recordings and to make one sound effect. And that's about creating your own sound effect, because just using one ice cracking for the bone sound will sound fake. But if you mix it up with a lot of reactions and different sound effects, you are able to create something unique, something that's useful. So yeah.
No blood.
Yeah, we weren't able to see blood. I tried to do a VFX of adding blood, but it was too hard because of the shadows, because of the camera movements. You have to track it. It's not gonna look great if I composite it, but still, we showed that the blood is actually there by putting a blood on the pencil, and we were lucky enough to have some food colorings and corn syrup on set, and we mixed it up and we messed the office up, but it kind of helped. And in this instance,
I like his reaction.
If you see the raw file, he doesn't look like this. I did some little bit of After Effects here. What I did was just liquefy his eyes a little bit to look kind of disgusting, and I add some adjustment layer to the eyes to make it darker a bit. And then, I wasn't able to add blood at the shirt. I could have added though, but just to kind of tell people that there was a difference, because if he's going to look still same, still normal, it's not gonna look great. It's gonna look fake. So this kind of helped. Another shadow, me going out. All right, we stopped until here. This is the last part we stopped in the first day. And the next day, we continue with me going out. And I brought a cap in the second day because I knew that, having no caps
If you can see, your long sleeves are not rolled at the first day.
Yes.
I don't know, at the second day.
Yes. It used to be rolled, but it's not rolled. That's something you guys didn't maybe figure out, but always have a VTR or always have someone, a set manager, to actually show you guys for the continuity to actually take and happen, because the actors may have something at the left, but will have something at the right in the next cut. So that's something to keep in mind. This is one of my favorite shots of all time. So the camera comes behind me. He was the shooter, and we didn't go on a steady cam because action is more of about shakiness and everything. So even though it had rolly shoulders and moray going on, it still worked. And if you use a Steadicam, it might look kind of a beauty shot. It's not gonna turn out well. So I kicked him. We did some choreography here, and then the thing is, if you look at here, I'm gonna pause at one frame. As you can see here, I'm looking straight, which means it's telling the people that someone is there. So after that, we also show the audience who is there, and then we show him actually coming in. So it's just a few frames of him, but that's actually gonna help up. And then we had another shot of me actually getting something from his shoes and show a detail that is a knife. And then cuts back to far shot. And then he falls down. Another close-up of extreme boom So, you go back and forth and try to analyze how we shot this thing, but, I like the cut of this. And cuts to the next fighting scene. I like the sliding shot of this. Creates a mood. Again, I'm building up the mood here between two strong people. Okay, this is also one of my favorite shots, which is in action when you're cutting something or a lot of things. Try to watch a lot of action videos and analyze how people cuts their video. The thing is, when they cut the action video, there's a lot of short little frames. There's this one trailer that we watched from Mission Impossible 4, which is already released. There's this part where, someone steals a gun and we analyze it and say, wow. If you just watch it without seeing frame by frame, it looks great. But if you see frame by frame, it makes no sense. But little by detail shots and making the sound looks fluid makes the shot looks great. So we learned that and we actually tried it out for ourselves, which is we did a lot of close-up shots of my arm flying, of the POV shot of the arm flying over, a lot of stuff. That's what you see in this film. And then the good thing was the actor there, he just came in, the first day we were shooting, right? He just came in with the boom operator saying that, this guy is talented, What is he talented at? He said, he's a b-boy. Like, b-boy, seriously? So he said he's free and he wants to do the film, and said, what can we do with a b-boy? And turns out that the choreography was awesome. So, we did a lot of fun stuff with him. He does the backflip. I couldn't do that. I might break my bone. Another close-up of the feet. And one thing when you're actually cutting a video of someone punching or someone getting shot, what I tend to do is do some jump cuts. This is a secret that I don't share a lot, but since it's overused a lot. So the thing is, when you actually punch a person, I'll try to demonstrate to my assistant here, and a punch, and if it goes like that, what I do is I stop my frame right here, and then I jump cut a 1 to 2 frames to this, which makes the video look like bam, bam, like that. So I don't know if you can get what I'm saying, but if you put a jump cut on every punches or every reaction shots, it'll look more effective and reality. It looks more real. And the sound effect of the ice cracking. All right, cuts to black screen. And this is the third day of shooting. We had a lot of story on set, but this is the story we came up with. I'm walking in here, I'm tired. The thing is, I have a heart problem. I don't know if you guys can notice that. Here's one of my favorite shots. Cuts to the leg, and then we had a slider, and we did a pushing shot to tell people that something's going on. Same thing applies to the other shot. Pushes in. And then I like the reflection of this shot. So tell me, Anjo, what was the tiring thing that's shooting in this set? This was also one of my favorite shots. We also push-in shot from his point of view, and I also like the reflection that's cast here. But the thing is, when I walk in, and then if I stop at the position, because you actually mark a place for the actors to stop and go to the next position, but the position that I'm supposed to say, it will be a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left, I think.
To the left.
To the left. But the thing is, if I stay there, what happens is that the reflections of our crew, you can't see that there because, will be seen. So the boom operator, the person who's taking care of the slider will be seen in the reflections. So we tricked you guys in this shot. So in reality, we are more closer. We are supposed to be, a little bit to the left a bit, but, staying in this case, just for this particular shot. And I like this shot. I like the light that's above here. I also like the anamorphic flare that's going to happen through the reflection. Also the reflection of us. It just looks cool. And then cuts to the over the shoulder shot, and in this case we're much closer now, but you guys don't notice that because we actually follow the rule of 180 degrees.
Define?
And then we saw a comment on the video, and someone said, what did he say about the file?
I should have not saved the file at the second.
Yes, we're not dialogue experts. We're not the experts in screenplay. Though for us, our experience in film, there's nothing wrong with it, and we had rehearsed this before. So saying the file, looks natural. But I don't know. Criticisms are there, and no matter how good or how bad your work is, there will be always people liking your work or criticizing your work. So maybe something we could work on in the next film. As you can see, I never break the rule of 180 degrees. I stay in a one position. I never cross the line. Another close-up shot of me getting it.
So give it to me. You wanna live?
All right, this is one of our favorite shots too. He says, all right, the shot changes to a real tight shot. He says, you wanna live, and then close-up shot of a medicine. I don't know if you guys can get the story, but for us, we wanted to tell a story that if he wants to live, he needs to take this medicine. And after the medicine cuts to my reaction shot, looking at the medicine and giving the face of, I need that. Or die in a rack focus of the gun. And cuts to wide. And then I give the reaction, look at the file, POV shot of the file. Now it cuts to the close-up shot, and if you can see, the camera zooms into the item because it actually tells people that,
That file is very important.
We didn't actually zoom in with the lens, we actually zoom in the post. We actually sacrificed some pixels, but it's alright to tell a story. Looks back up. Fun part, tell us how we actually were able to shoot this kind of throwing items.
We shoot this footage separately, shooting this different items, which is the medicine and the file.
And we shot it in different angles. We tried it out. We never shot this before, so we weren't experienced when it comes to this kind of stuff. But as you can see here, so first we shot we did a lot of videos of us throwing the file. And then because the file is actually important, even though it's broken, we didn't have to break it down because it's a real hard disk. We had a person in front, and then we throw it, and we were able to try to get it. The versatility of using DSLRs to get the footage right. And then we had a lot of takes, and just one of them were able to use it. And after the file, we also had cut to another angle of the file just going out. We shot this in 720p. We can slow it down a bit. And then cuts to Ri's reaction, and then him actually dropping the file and trying to catch it, and then shows the actual medicine falling down, and cuts to me trying to catch that medicine. And he falls down, and end. I'll be honest, the last shot a little bit needs more practice, a little bit more, more shots to be there to build up the mood. But what we really like is the last ending shot. This is our favorite shot and then favorite angle. We want to even use this as a poster someday. The thing is, we wanted to do this, and trust us, to have the camera angle at this high is difficult. And I said, I've seen a lot of action movies, and I know what angles they use a lot often. And then, looking at the location, I said, I want a top view shot with a wide angle lens, top view shot. So what I did is, because a lot of bags were in the side near to you, because all our equipment, all the equipment was there, but I want to get a shot. So we moved the bags to the other side, and then we also rehearsed the shot. The pose was also one of the important thing. When I actually lie down and try to aim the gun to you, my legs were wide open, kind of looked ugly, so we reshot it again. Another thing was, as you can see on the left, the windows are blurred out because, you were able to see some people with some markets. So I just blurred it out so that, you guys will just concentrate on us. And another thing you can see here is he falls down with the gun. I get my gun out already. He gets his gun, but why do we still get our gun out? Here's the thing. People don't always trust in continuity. Screw continuity. If it looks right, it looks right, all right? It's a great tip for editors, but the thing is, trying to make it all continuity, moving a hand here to here, cutting angles from here to there. Yes, continuity is very important. But the thing is, in case of action, people tend to miss it a lot. So if you see some lots of action movies like Salt or Mission Impossible, which is one of the great films that I watch, is that when a car explodes or pushes to the side and when it cuts to the other angle, it crashes again. So it's just not one crash and then reaction, but cuts, and crash. Because if it's something big or a highlight, people wants to watch it again or in a different angle. So what we chose to do is, even though our arms are already out, we also wanted to show that we're actually doing it. And our actually intent was to actually fire a gun, like goes black and boom boom. But directed by just looks better in that case. We tried it out too. We're not dumb. We tried it. So that's it. Screw continuity. If it feels right, it feels right. It looks right, it's right. The thing is, continuity is also one of the important rule you should learn. Again, it's about learning the rules and breaking the rules to be creative. So credits goes out. That's just it. So how'd you like this film?
I like it very much. That I want something more after that scene.
Yes, I edited this film, and he was the one who actually showed him the first when the film was done, and I showed him like, here's the film, watch it, and he goes like, is it
I
it?
want more.
I want more. Was that it? Is that finished? And that's the reaction I want to get from the audience. That's not gonna happen a lot. A lot of people go in the theaters and say, oh God, I was boring in the middle. Oh, I slept in the middle. I'm sure you experienced that too.
One friend told me after seeing this short film, she told me, I want to see the full.
Yes, the full. Yes, the thing is this, it doesn't mean that we always have to cut in the middle to let the audience wait, but the thing is, it's better for the audience to wait for more films or feel like want to watching more than to walk out a theater saying that it was boring. I mean, it really depends on people though as well. But the thing is, that was our target. We wanted to keep it short. When we had our idea, brainstorming ideas in Starbucks, we said, I want it short, I want to keep it simple, but effective, and then with creative people. And what I wanted to do also in that particular break time is that I said, I want to create something that has never done before with, collaboration with creative people, doing something. So the first day of shooting, I was like, man, we were eating it at a restaurant, and I told them like, after the shooting, we said, guys, I love this shot. I love the shooting today. I totally loved it. I told them like, this was one of my best day because every single people had their role. One was our second AC who used to clap the clapperboard, a microphone guy with a boom pole, a boom operator, and a shooter, a person holding light. We had our roles and we saved a lot of time. It went really fast. I said, everyone get to position. Now let's get it started. People, audio is rolling, cameras rolling, action. There we go. It was fast. Transferring 2 cameras. We only had 2 cameras. Transferring different angles and everything. I love that, the workflow. So, it's always good to rehearse the workflow about the equipments and everything beforehand. But that day, I loved the shooting. But the next day, it was kind of tricky, but it was great. We did it. So, talking about the reaction to the film, the comments were a lot of, positive comments. And thank you guys for loving it. Maybe because, it's my film, you just like it. But, we'd rather be open for criticism. It's cool. Leave a comment down below what you thought of the film. We would love to take criticisms. We also showed this film with a lot of filmmakers, and they also said their opinion, and there's nothing wrong about it. So we also listen to opinion, and then we also set out our mistakes, our things we need to learn, and that's basically it. And yes, I can't wait for the next film that we should work on, and the action film. We also thinking of the title, The Next Light. What we did was, again, thinking of titles, what we did, we looked around. So we brought a notepad in our laptop and write down every single thing we see. We wrote.
Combine.
Yeah, we wrote like,
words.
what did you write? Do I still have it here? Like, I put the the box light, laptop, whatever. Like, the thing is, the next light sounds great. So we even put minutes because there was a clock. The next minute we were about to do that, but it kind of sound cliche, so we just switch it to the next light. And then we Googled it if there's any title that says The Next Light. No one took it. So if you search The Next Light on Google, our video will be the first one to appear on your list. Anyhow, it's about an hour. We record this podcast thing. So, we will do more film critics if you want to watch. And what we're starting to do now is not only our films we're going to discuss. We want you guys to submit your films. And, you don't have to be great. Don't worry. we are open for everyone. Even it's a 5-year-old making their video, we know what to say. We're not gonna criticize you saying, you know, you should stop making videos, throw away your camera. Again, doesn't matter. If you want to tell a story and if you're obsessed with film, one day, a day will come, you will be good at it, and one day a day will come, people will start to appreciate your work, and you need criticism for that. You know, if you just think that you're just perfect, you're not gonna grow. Criticisms are there to lead you to the right way, and I got criticized a lot from my YouTube, you know, vlogging and everything. I know a lot of bad words they used to say, you know. The thing is, you know, we would love to also watch your film and share it to the people and say what we have to say, and then the good side and the bad side, and for you guys to actually enjoy this show. So what I want you guys to do is, you know, leave a video response or send an email to this link, and then we would send our film and then feature it on here, and we're gonna look at it on live and then share it to the world. So I hope you guys, this was, you know, helpful. We would do more episodes like this, and if you guys also like the film, make sure to also share our short film and support us whenever there's a new films coming up. We're also working on with a new film. We'll be shooting in the airport and all of stuff, and it's fun. And so again, it's not all about the equipment. We learned a lot of stuff, so get out there and start shooting. That's one of the attitude that I want to have. Get out there, start shooting. Just shoot, just keep shooting, whatever it is, but make sure to stay within the line, which is the rules, and then learn the rules and break the rules. So that is it for today. So thank you guys for watching, and my name is LJ.
And I'm Manjo.
And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.